They sent her an invitation to the 10-year reunion, not because they wanted to see her, but because they wanted to humiliate her one last time. The girl they called the class loser, the one they mocked, ignored, and wrote off as invisible. They laughed as they added her name to the guest list, already imagining her walking in alone, out of place, embarrassed. But here's the question that will make your jaw drop: what if the quiet girl you bullied turned out to be the most dangerous person in the room? And when the night finally arrived, and the ground began to shake, no one was laughing anymore. From which city in the world are you watching this story right now? Drop it in the comments if you love tales of quiet strength and epic revenge. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button because this one is about to go nuclear. What happened next left 200 people completely speechless. The rooftop bar hung above Seattle like a jewel suspended in amber light. Golden hour poured through floor-to-ceiling windows, turning ordinary glass into liquid gold, catching the rims of expensive wine glasses and painting long shadows across the polished table where 4 people sat in comfortable arrogance. Below them, the city sprawled in all its indifferent glory, skyscrapers piercing the horizon like declarations of wealth and power. Bridger Castellano occupied his chair the way successful men do, with casual ownership, one arm draped over the backrest as if even the furniture existed to serve him. His navy blazer probably cost what most people earned in a month. And his smile carried the hollow warmth of someone who had perfected looking genuine while feeling nothing. Real estate had made him wealthy, but it hadn't made him kind. Sloane DeVoe held her phone like a weapon of self-documentation, angling it to capture the sunset behind her with practiced precision. 3 photos in rapid succession, each one calculated to look effortlessly beautiful. Her entire life was curated for an audience that only existed online. Across from her sat Paxton Rhee, charcoal suit, perfect knot in his tie, announcing he was a corporate attorney before he even opened his mouth. He swirled his whiskey slowly, watching the ice like it needed strategy. Lennox Foss completed the group, younger, lean, sharp-featured, restless energy pouring off him because his tech startup had exploded overnight. He checked his watch every 30 seconds, not because he had somewhere to be, but because his whole identity was built on the idea that time was money, and he was filthy rich. For months they had been meeting like this, planning the Glen Ridge Academy class of 2015 reunion with the excitement of people who never actually left high school. Because people who truly move on don't spend this much energy rebuilding the same old popularity pyramid. Bridger stopped scrolling on his tablet, and a slow, predatory smile spread across his face. He turned the screen to the others. "Wait," he said, voice dripping with nasty inspiration. "What about Alone?" Sloane glanced up, squinted, then burst out laughing, too loud for the fancy bar. "Oh my God, Alone Ashby? I completely forgot she even existed." Paxton leaned in, staring at the old yearbook photo with pure contempt. "The girl who ate lunch alone in the art room every single day," he mocked. "You're actually serious?" Lennox's eyes lit up with cruel genius. "This is perfect. We send her an invitation. She shows up thinking people finally care, thinking maybe she matters now." Sloane jumped in, laughing, turning sharp. "And we get to show everyone exactly how far we've come. The contrast alone, chef's kiss." Bridger was already typing, adding Alone's name with dramatic flair. "Invitation to the Glen Ridge Academy class of 2015 reunion," he narrated out loud. "Cascadia Grand Estate, black tie required." He grinned. "She'll show up in something from a thrift store. Guaranteed." Paxton lifted his whiskey. "If she even shows up at all." Sloane raised her glass with total certainty. "Oh, she'll show up. People like Alone always show up. They always hope things have changed." They clinked their glasses, the sound sharp and bright, sealing their little pact of casual cruelty. Bridger hit send. Invitation delivered. The camera zoomed in on that old yearbook photo. The girl looked fragile, almost ghostly, huge glasses swallowing her pale face, thin hair in a tight ponytail, sweater drowning her tiny frame. But her eyes stared straight ahead with an intensity that felt like she was looking right through the photographer into something only she could see. Then the memories hit like punches. Cafeteria? Alone in the corner, back against the wall, thick textbook open in front of her, light dynamics and aeronautical engineering. Everyone laughing, shouting, living, but none of it touching her. She had learned invisibility was safer. Locker hallway. Her locker vandalized, the word ghost spray painted in dripping red letters. She just stared at it, face blank, opened the door, took her books, walked away. Didn't cry. Didn't give them anything. Classroom. Tests handed back. Teacher smiles, places Alone's paper down, 98% in bright red. Bridger gets 72%, sees her score, crumples his test, throws it at the back of her head. It bounces off. She never even flinch. Just folds her perfect test and slides it into her binder. Career day. Gym full of booths. Only one kid at the U.S. Navy table. Alone, leaning in, asking serious questions, taking the pamphlet like it's gold. Across the gym, kids pointing, laughing, one doing an exaggerated salute that sends the whole group into hysterics. She thanks the officer quietly, tucks the pamphlet away, walks off. Graduation day. Everyone pouring out with families, hugs, tears, cameras flashing. Alone walks out alone. No one to take her picture. She pauses at the bottom step, looks back at the school one last time, then walks away down the long sidewalk until she disappears into the light. A soft voice over the image. They wrote her off as nothing. A dreamer. A nobody destined to fail. Now cut to the night of the reunion. Cascadia Grand Estate, marble columns, Edison bulbs glowing like fireflies, red carpet, jazz floating in the air, luxury cars rolling up one after another. Bridger, Sloane, Paxton, and Lennox stand at the entrance like royalty, fake smiles, fake hugs, Sloane snapping photos nonstop. Sloane leans to Lennox, whispering, "She RSVP'd yes. No +1. They smirk. Bridger checks his watch. She's late. Probably couldn't find anything nice to wear. They laugh and head inside. The ballroom is pure money, crystal chandeliers, white linen, massive screens cycling old photos. When Alone's yearbook picture hits the screen, the whole room explodes in laughter. "Oh my God, I forgot about her! She was so weird! Wanted to be a pilot, good luck!" Sloane films it all, grinning. "Reunion glow-up check, let's see who shows up tonight." Paxton smirks at Lennox. $20 she rolls up in a Honda Civic. Lennox, "I say she doesn't show." They shake on it. And then, the music stops dead. Mid-song. Band cuts off. Silence slams the room. A low thump, thump, thump starts, like a heartbeat from hell getting closer. The floor vibrates. Glasses rattle. Chandeliers sway. Bridger frowns. "What the hell is that?" The thumping turns into a roar. The whole building shakes. A champagne glass tips, spills. Someone screams. The roar becomes unbearable. Wind slams, the French doors open, and 200 panicked guests flood outside onto the lawn. Night air thick with dust and noise. Through the storm of dirt and grass, something massive drops from the sky. An AH-64 Apache attack helicopter, rotors tearing the air apart, landing lights blinding white, descending like Judgment Day. It touches down hard, earth shaking one last time. Rotors slow. Dust settles. Silence heavier than the noise. Side door opens. Gloved hand. Boot hits the ground. A silhouette steps out, backlit, tall, calm. Sloane's voice cracks, tiny and scared. "Alone?" And Lieutenant Commander Alone Ashby steps into the light. Flight suit perfect, patches screaming U.S. Navy, HSC 85, trident shining on her chest. Hair in a tight bun, face carved by years of war and discipline. She pulls off her helmet, tucks it under her arm, and looks at 200 frozen faces with total calm. 2 crew members hop out behind her, snap sharp salutes. "Ma'am, we'll be on standby." She returns the salute perfectly. "Thank you, petty officer." Then she walks forward, and the crowd parts like the Red Sea. Whispers explode. "That's the Yemen extraction!" She's the one who saved 12 Marines! Navy Cross! She got the Navy Cross! Phones come out, people Googling frantically, faces going pale as the truth hits. She stops right in front of Bridger, Sloane, Paxton, and Lennox, all of them white as ghosts. You sent me an invitation, she says, voice calm, no anger, just fact. Bridger opens his mouth, nothing comes out. I'm here, she says quietly, then walks past them like they're nothing. Inside, her old yearbook photo is still on the giant screen. She stops in the middle of the ballroom, looks up at it, and the contrast between then and now destroys everyone. A Navy captain in dress uniform walks up, chest full of medals. Lieutenant Commander Ashby. She turns surprised. Captain Graves. He smiles, turns to the silent room. For those who don't know, this woman flew 6 straight hours under fire in Yemen, took rounds to her bird, and brought every single Marine home alive. She was awarded the Navy Cross for it. He steps back, salutes her crisp and proud. She returns it, eyes shining for the first time. One by one, other veterans step forward and salute her too. Someone starts crying. Sloane's phone is shaking so bad the video is useless. Paxton grips the bar like he'll fall over. Bridger just stares at the floor. Alone looks at them, voice still calm. I got the email thread. Someone forwarded it to me. I read every joke about what I'd wear, every bet, every plan to laugh at me so you could feel big again. The room is dead silent. I came tonight to see if any of you had grown up. She looks around slowly. You haven't. Then she walks to the balcony doors, pushes them open, steps into the night air. One old classmate, Marin, runs after her, tears streaming. I'm sorry. I never stood up for you. I'm so sorry. Alone looks at her a long moment, nods once. Marin whispers, You're incredible, and walks away crying. Alone takes one last look at the stars, turns, walks back through the ballroom. People step aside now with real respect. Captain Graves meets her at the door. It was an honor, Commander. The honor was mine, sir. She walks across the torn-up lawn, climbs back into the Apache. Rotors spin up, the beast lifts into the night, lights blinking smaller and smaller until it disappears. Inside, the party is dead. Sloane deletes every video. Bridger leaves without a word. Paxton sits alone. Lennox is already gone. The staff starts cleaning up shattered glass and silence. But outside, deep grooves remain in the grass where the helicopter landed, scars that will stay for weeks. A permanent mark that something extraordinary touched down that night. Something that could never be laughed at, erased, or forgotten ever again.